So we watched a movie. We watched Green. No, not Green River. I already messed the name up. There are so many different blank river. Wind River was the movie. Nice little murder mystery type movie. I'm gonna be straight up right now. There's gonna be spoilers in this. So if you're interested in the movie and watching it, and you don't want anything spoiled, stop watching this right now because it's gonna all be messed up for you pretty much immediately. That said, if you don't care or if you've already seen it, you just want to see other thoughts on it, keep watching here because we're gonna have opinions that can be completely and blatantly discarded, and they're not gonna matter. So.
Not gonna matter. They matter.
So it's a movie about this white dude who I guess like hunts game. Jeremy Renner is the specific white dude who you do not like very much, but that didn't seem to bother you throughout the movie.
He was nice in the movie,
so
nice. It was okay.
Okay.
He wasn't annoying like he normally is.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So good old Hawkeye was doing what he does best and shooting up the local wildlife for the Indian Reservation, the Wind River Indian Reservation. He's the hunter, just as he is in the Avengers. So kind of typecast there.
You've never even seen it.
I have not seen the Avengers, so this is a very, very poor start here.
You only know that because I told you that's what he was in.
I think the biggest problem is that I actually haven't seen the Avengers, which I'm probably going to get lynched over, but, So, yeah, he does this thing, and he's doing just kind of like a routine job when he finds a dead body out in the snow.
He's an expert snowmobiler.
So if you like snowmobile action, if you're a big snowcat rider, there's going to be a lot of great action scenes with snowmobiles in this movie for you.
Yeah, he gets on the side of the trail and puts his body on this side, whips around the turn.
Pretty world-class snowmobiling throughout the entire film there. So he finds this dead body, and of course that kind of sets up the plot that there's more going on here. He's got to figure all of it out. And
it's a young woman.
It is.
She's 18.
Wow. She is.
Didn't say anything about it.
Yes.
She's a dead body.
She's a girl. She's a dead girl out in the middle of the snow. It's a reservation in Wyoming, so it's like cold as shit there all the time. Never warm. I don't know.
She doesn't have any gloves or shoes or boots on.
Yeah, she's all frostbitten.
Bloody. Her face is all bloody.
Mm-hmm. Raped a little, Got to get all those in there. So yeah, it's a super welcoming film, as you can tell. I would define it as being not as cold as The Revenant, but pretty cold. Pretty humorless movie too. Not a lot of laughs. Maybe like one or two little chunks of dialogue that might make you awkwardly chuckle, even though you feel like you're not really supposed to. I don't know. It's a good movie. It wasn't like a bad movie or anything, but if you're looking for a nice light-hearted buddy cop film, this is not it. The whole buddy cop thing. I should mention where that comes into play. Because it's a murder, they call in the FBI. So this white girl, Elizabeth Olsen specifically, the non-crazy one, shows up, and of course. She comes out from Las Vegas, so she doesn't know anything about the cold. She doesn't know anything about the area. She's completely lost and clueless. She asks Jeremy Renner, whatever his name is, for help, and he helps her out. And that's basically the substantial plot of the film, is the local guy helping out the not-so-local agent to figure out what happened to this woman. She died of the cold, so it's not a homicide, so she's kind of working between the lines there, not with complete FBI authority. It's all that kind of stuff.
She's not working with complete FBI authority because her death was ruled as, her lungs exploded.
Yeah.
Because she was cold.
It was a natural death, but she was still, beaten up and savaged and not in real great shape. So while they were like, well, yeah, it's clearly a murder, it's not why she died, was because of murder. So it goes through all that there. And then there's the local reservation chief trying to help him out too, and dude's just dude does not care. Like, yeah, clueless, does not care. He's like, we don't get backup, we don't get help. Usually this stuff just goes through and whatever, that's it. So it's a kind of unique dynamic. I suppose I should probably mention, and this is where the spoilers come in and everything, although this is made apparent in like the first 10 minutes of the movie, so who cares. Jeremy Renner's character, his daughter died in a set of very similar circumstances as to this present death in the film.
3 years ago, and the girls were best friends.
Yeah. Pretty important detail right there, that they are best friends. Or were best friends, rather. They're not really much of anything now. Rip. And, yeah, it goes through in such a way there. That's the plot outline in a nutshell. I'm not going to go and say every facet of the plot, because you're not here for a synopsis. You're here to know what I think about it. It's pretty good. How'd you feel about it?
I liked it a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Wow. So.
I love murder mysteries. The best.
Love your murder mysteries.
Yeah.
There are bloody bodies all over. Nah.
Yeah, if it's like an episode of SVU, I'm into it. And it was, because she was raped.
You're just totally into your rape films, I tell you.
No, don't say it like that.
No, she's not into that, but it does add a level of intrigue and menace to it that nothing else really can there. Like, if someone's murdered, it's like, oh yeah, someone they were shot. If someone's raped, that's serious. That's like,
these guys are gonna fucking die for what they did.
yeah, and I don't even mean that in like, what am I trying to say here? Like, I'm definitely not trying to make rape seem like a lighthearted thing, because it's absolutely not. It is one of the more heinous things that can happen to somebody. That's why it even says the word heinous in the SVU intro, because it truly is. It truly is. But so yeah, it's pretty grim. If you don't handle that subject matter well, don't watch the movie, because it's got that. Especially the whole dynamic of it being, these like pretty much forgotten and rather, what's the word, neglected Native American people with these like white people working on these like oil drills like pretty much on their doorstep, and just the harsh reality of everything. The movie did portray reservation life in a very gritty and realistic fashion there. Like the very first shot that you get of the res is just like the green highway sign, Wind River Indian Reservation, and it's got bullet holes through the whole thing, which is very real. I remember specifically one time I drove through the Red Lake, like Indian Reservation, very similar aesthetic to it. Highway signs full of bullet holes, spray paint on a lot of them. It's just not, it's just forgotten and really sad. And that was definitely shown well. At the same time, the Native American population in this film were not portrayed as all inherently bad, which is also accurate and realistic. There were a few characters who, were complete mess-ups. All they did was party in their trailer and get high the entire time and do absolutely nothing with their lives. And then there were people who were just legitimately full of problems that they were trying to solve, who were just trying to get by and live and be decent human beings. So it was a very dynamic, real portrayal of a reservation. I say that, of course, not being Native American and not having ever lived on a res or spent any substantial amount of time there, but they grew up in northern Minnesota, or close to a lot of them, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the matter. That would be disingenuous of me. But from what I know, it seemed to be a very accurate and fair representation. That was all wrapped up at the end of the movie, they give the statistics saying how, like, there are, like, no missing women, like, reports for the Native American demographic.
And there are for every single other one.
Yeah. If you're Hispanic and you're missing, you're on a list somewhere. If you're African American and you're missing, you're on a list somewhere. If you're Caucasian, you're on a list somewhere. But there's nothing for Native Americans. So that was pretty sobering, I'd say, as a final credit thing.
They say that because the movie was based on true events.
Yeah.
It said in the beginning. So.
Yes, one of those based on a true story, and I think they handled everything very well. Nothing was. I mean, obviously, it's a movie, so the intention is to be entertaining. That's what movies do, is they entertain you, but they didn't turn it into any kind of like ridiculous glorified action movie or anything. It was handled very. It's handled with class, I guess I should say. Why am I looking at you to save the words here?
I don't know.
Yeah, the acting was well done. You compare, say, Elizabeth Olsen's acting to any of the old Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movies.
Oh, just get over it.
A little more substance than The Parent Trap, I'd say.
What?
They weren't even in that, were they?
No! It was Lindsay Lohan. She was in it by herself.
You know, I know a lot about them.
No. You know nothing.
Okay, It Takes Two, they were in that, right?
Yes.
Yeah! 50%. That's not even a passing grade. So, yeah, Wind River, pretty decent movie. Great movie according to her. So, nothing comforting about the movie at all, except for, you know, in the end, when the bad guys get theirs, everyone's at peace again and everything. It does have a, I mean, not a happy ending, but as happy as you can get for the content.
But it's a good ending.
Yeah. It's not one of those endings where it's like, figure out what happened for yourself. Analyze this with your friends. We're gonna tell you nothing and like that, because those endings, they can be okay, but that usually they just wind up sucking and feeling really pretentious. But this movie had a pretty good definitive ending, with a nice sobering final scene, a little bit bittersweet. So yeah, ended well. Started a little bit slow, but most good movies do start slow. It did not.
It was interesting the whole way through.
Wow, okay. Getting countered here.
You have to ease into the story, Paul. When it's a murder mystery.
I
You
know.
have to get to know the characters first.
I know. Okay.
Like, Jeremy Renner had a son. You didn't mention that.
Because his son really did not matter at all in terms of the plot.
But he was in the movie.
But he played like... The movie could have literally not had that character, and it would have been the same movie. His son's existence changed absolutely nothing about the entire film.
Well...
I wouldn't call him a vital character.
Jeez.
Cat walking across the keyboard. Jeez. Small animal. But yeah. Long and short of it, good murder mystery. Go watch it if you want. Don't watch it if you cannot handle the subject matter. You can just throw it out there right now. Otherwise, what would you give it out of 10 and a half?
What?
What would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, okay. Maybe like 7.6.
7.6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Well, I've seen a lot of movies, so.
You have to give it a 7.483 out of 10.
Please.
I'm actually ranking things out of 10,000, and I'm just thinly veiling it with decimal points.
I don't know why you said that.
I don't either. Cat is chowing down on my thumb right now. So, yeah, that's it. We both give it solid 7.5s, I would say.
It was good.
Enough to call it a very good movie.
We picked this movie because we wanted to see a movie today, and we looked at the 8 that were playing at the Champlin Theater, and that one looked the best to me.
I was just down for any of them. Apparently Spider-Man was not high enough art for her.
Spider-Man or a murder mystery? Ooh.
Same thing!
Whatever.
People get murdered in Spider-Man, and then it's a mystery as to who does it.
I doubt anyone gets murdered in that movie.
Someone got murdered in the first Spider-Man.
Who?
Uncle Ben, hello! It's like the first thing that happens in the movie.
I haven't seen those in a long time, and you don't like to watch them because you don't like them.
Anyway, yeah. That's Wind River. Check it out. We'll be back at you again with another spicy movie review when we watch another one. Until then, yeah.